Hey guys, today I'm going to tell you how I made my freezer meal no noodle lasagna. So first I started with a orange bell pepper. And I used a fry cutter to do all of this. It makes it a whole lot faster for chopping any kind of vegetables. I used a red bell pepper. Normally I use a green and red, but they didn't have it at Walmart that day. Put them in the frying pan with some butter. Some yellow squash, and I sliced this thinly, like that. I like eating it better that way than cubed. Then I got 2 zucchinis, cut them the same way as the squash. Add that all to the frying pan. Give it a stir every now and then. We got 10 ounces of mushrooms and chop them by hand without the fry chopper. I like bigger pieces of those. I basically just cut each mushroom in a few pieces and throw it in. Then I got a little bit of water and put it in with the vegetables to help it steam, to help it cook better without burning or getting hard. Now for the spinach, I got 3 beef bouillon cubes and put them in some water to boil. And I got some garlic salt to add to the vegetables. You can use any kind of salt you want. 10 ounces of raw spinach, and I put that in the boiling water a little at a time, and when you do that, then it'll wilt, and then you can add it to the vegetables. But in my case, I add it to a big mixing bowl to put all the vegetables and meat in. Put it in the mixing bowl. Then I strained the vegetables, and the easiest way that I found to do this was to take a spatula and to scoop it out into the colander instead of trying to dump it out the side of the frying pan. And add that to the bowl. Now I put some more butter in the pan and fry the onions. And I was crying by the time I was done with this. I used 3 onions, I think, for this recipe. And I just decided to make this recipe one evening after work. It took me about 2.5 to 3 hours, and it lasted me for about a month or so. And I would just take the Tupperware containers with about 2 cups worth of the lasagna in it, and I would cook it for like 3 minutes in the microwave, stirring it every now and then, and it worked pretty well for meals, and it tastes really good. So there I add the onions to the rest of the vegetables, and now I have 1 pound of breakfast sausage. I used Jimmy Dean hot, and you couldn't even hardly taste any spice at all in the finished product. 1 pound of ground beef, any leanness that you want. Add all the vegetables to a pot so I could add the sauce to it. 10 ounces of mild Rotel tomatoes, but as mild as it ended up being, you could probably add spicy and it wouldn't make much difference. 8 ounces of tomato paste. 4 pounds of pasta sauce. I couldn't get over how big it was and how much I needed, but that's how much it ended up needing. Now I strained the grease off of the meat. And you don't want to run that down your pipes or you'll have a lot of problems on your hands. Mix that in with the rest of the sauce and the vegetables, and then mix it up. And there goes the rest of the pasta sauce. And I did end up making 13 of these meals for approximately $3 a piece or so. So it's a lot cheaper than eating out. So I had some cheddar cheese that was left over, 8 ounces of Gouda cheese, just because I thought it tastes good. I just cut it in smaller pieces so it's easier to grate. You can also get grated cheese too if you don't want to grate it yourself, but it's cheaper this way. One pound of mozzarella cheese, and I set the oven to 350 at this point. Cut that in slices and then grate it. Add that to the rest of the cheese. And then whenever I first made this, you're supposed to have some kind of ricotta cheese or something like that. But I substituted that with queso fresco from Walmart, which is about half of the big round block, and 1 container of sour cream. And this tastes amazing. Now, the pan that I use is a 15 by 11, approximately. There's some good ASMR content for you. Now I just take the cheese mixture and put that in the middle. It doesn't really matter how you layer this because it's all going to get mixed up together anyway without the noodles to separate it. So just do it however you feel like. And then put the rest of the cheese on top of that. And it doesn't have to look clean either because you're going to separate it up into smaller containers anyway. Now I reinforced the bottom of the pan with a cookie sheet. This thing was heavy. Once again, putting it in the oven on 350, and I set the timer for 1 hour. And I did end up putting it in there for probably an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. You can't really tell whenever it's done because all the ingredients are cooked already, but it was well set whenever I shook it around. As you can see right there. And there's the finished product in the pan. And there's what it looks like when you scoop it out. It looks interesting, but it tastes amazing. Now, I filled all of the with Grandma's help, I filled up all of the Tupperware containers, and these are 2-cup.
Get something on there, you need to wipe it off. Just when you get some on there, just wipe it off.
Anyway, I used 13 of these containers here, and each one holds 2 cups, and that worked just fine for meals. And there's the finished product. Just froze them and then got them out in the morning whenever I was ready to go to work. Or you can get them out the night before if you don't want to microwave them for as long. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me know in the comments how yours does, and look forward to more videos coming from I'll Cook Anything.